Under the ancient baobab tree in the heart of Umuocha village, Adanna and Nkem are wed. Elders bless their union, reminding Nkem of the age-old family oath. No man of this lineage shall betray his wife, lest the spirits claim his soul. The village watches as the couple exchanges vows, unaware of the fate that awaits them. Later that night, Nkem's father, Chief Obinna, warns him never to break the oath, revealing that Nkem's great-grandfather met a mysterious end after being unfaithful. The warning lingers in Nkem's mind, but he dismisses it as mere superstition. A month after the wedding, Nkem meets Ifunanya, a childhood friend who has returned to the village. The attraction is undeniable. Ifunanya, now a widow, confesses her feelings. Nkem resists, but begins to feel an internal struggle. Rumors spread in the village about Nkem's closeness with Ifunanya. Adanna hears them, but trusts her husband. Meanwhile, an elder, Mama Ejima, warns Adanna to keep an eye on Nkem, hinting that the spirits never sleep. One fateful night, Nkem gives in to temptation. He and Ifunanya share an intimate moment in her home. As he leaves, a cold wind sweeps through the village and the distant sound of drumming echoes in the air. The morning after, Nkem wakes up feeling unusually weak. His reflection in the mirror distorts briefly. The village priest, Dibia Okeke, senses a shift in the air and visits Chief Obinna, seeking answers. Adanna notices Nkem's distant behavior. He avoids her gaze, and his touch lacks warmth. When she confronts him, he dismisses her worries, but doubt settles in her heart. At the village square, elders discuss strange occurrences: crops wilting, livestock falling ill, and an unexplained chill in the air. Mama Ejima speaks of the old oath and suggests that someone has broken it. Ifunanya begins experiencing nightmares of faceless spirits chasing her. She confesses to her best friend, who warns her to stay away from Nkem before it's too late. Nkem is alone when a gust of wind knocks him off his feet. He hears a deep, whispering voice. "You have betrayed your oath." Panicked, he rushes home, but his father's solemn face tells him it's already too late. Each night, Nkem wakes up to the sound of footsteps circling his home. Shadows move where there should be none, and his body grows colder by the day. Determined to understand what is happening, Adanna visits Dibia Okeke. The priest performs a ritual and sees visions of Nkem breaking the sacred vow. He warns Adanna that if the spirits are not appeased, her husband's soul will be claimed. One morning, Ifunanya vanishes without a trace. Villagers whisper that the spirits have taken her. Nkem grows more paranoid, sensing her presence in the wind, her voice in the trees. Nkem is lured into the forest one night, where he sees apparitions of his ancestors. They condemn him, telling him that the course is irreversible. He must accept his fate. Nkem's health deteriorates, his once strong frame weakens, and dark circles haunt his eyes. Adanna fears that soon she will lose him forever. Adanna pleads with the village elders, demanding a way to save Nkem. They tell her that only a sacrifice can cleanse his soul, but the price is unknown. One night, Ifunanya stumbles into the village, delirious and covered in strange markings. She speaks of a dark force that took her, a force that now waits for Nkem. Dibia Okeke prepares a ritual to cleanse Nkem's soul, but time is running out. The spirits are growing impatient, and the village is on edge. On the night of the ritual, the spirits descend upon the village. The air turns icy and the ground trembles. Adanna must choose: let Nkem face his fate, or make the ultimate sacrifice. With tears in her eyes, Adanna steps forward, offering herself in Nkem's place. The spirits pause, intrigued by her devotion. But will they accept her plea? The spirits present Adanna with a cruel choice: surrender her own soul to free Nkem, or watch him fade away. The village holds its breath as she makes her decision. In a desperate act, Adanna invokes the spirit of her late mother, pleading for guidance. A warm glow surrounds her, and a whisper echoes. Love can break even the oldest curses. As Adanna's love for her husband shines through, the spirits begin to waver. The dark presence retreats, and Nkem collapses, gasping for breath. With the curse lifted, the village rejoices. But scars remain. Nkem, forever changed, vows never to stray again. Adanna, though victorious, carries the weight of the ordeal in her heart. The elders declare that the oath must never be taken lightly again. The village learns that love, faithfulness, and truth hold more power than any ancient curse. Despite the victory over the spirits, Nkem cannot find peace. Every night, he wakes up drenched in sweat, haunted by whispers in the wind. Adanna notices his troubled state and urges him to speak, but he remains silent. He fears that, although the spirits spared him, they might still demand something in return. Ifunanya has remained secluded since her return. When Adanna visits her, she notices strange, faded markings on her arms and neck. Ifunanya confesses that in the time she was missing, she was trapped in a dark place, neither alive nor dead. Something ancient touched her, marking her as a vessel. They are not done, she warns Adanna. Chief Obina calls for a village meeting. He reveals a secret long buried. The oath Nkem's ancestors took was not just a vow of loyalty, it was a contract. If a man breaks it, not only is his soul at risk, but the entire lineage faces consequences. The village grows uneasy. Had the spirits truly been appeased, or was there more to come? That night, a chilling scream echoes through the village. A farmer finds his livestock dead, their eyes wide open in terror. The village priest warns that this is a sign the spirits are still displeased. The price has not yet been paid, he murmurs. Determined to protect Nkem and her home, Adanna sneaks out to visit an old reclusive woman known as Neka the Wise, said to know the ways of the spirits. The woman tells her a shocking truth. Nkem's survival was only the beginning. If a sacrifice is not made soon, something worse will be unleashed. The past is never buried, Neka says. It waits, and it always returns. As dawn breaks, Adanna wakes to find eerie symbols carved into the ground outside her home. The villagers gather in fear, whispering that the spirits are sending a message. The priest, Dibia Okeke, studies the markings and announces grimly, the spirits were cheated. They will collect their due. Ifunanya, overwhelmed by the weight of the curse, visits Adanna. She reveals that while trapped in the spirit realm, she overheard a chilling truth. The spirits did not accept Adanna's sacrifice because their true target was Nkem's firstborn child, whether born yet or not. Ifunanya begs Adanna to flee while she still can. That night, Adanna has a vivid dream. She finds herself in an endless field of mist where her late grandmother appears. You have fought for love, the old woman says, but love alone is not enough. To break the cycle, you must do what no woman in our lineage has done before. The vision fades before Adanna can ask what she must do. Determined to understand her dream, Adanna seeks out Neka, the wise again. The old woman tells her, men have always made the oaths, and women have always paid the price. But there is another way, one that no one has dared to take. She hands Adanna an ancient dagger, whispering, break the chain before it binds your child. Adanna returns home to find Nkem pale and trembling. He confesses that he has seen his unborn child in visions, crying out for help from the spirit world. Adanna makes a decision. She will no longer let the sins of the past dictate her family's fate. She grips the dagger tightly, ready to do what must be done. Adanna wakes to a strange presence in a home. The air is thick with the scent of burning incense, though no fire burns. When she steps outside, she sees 3 elders standing before her, elders who had died long ago. You think love is enough? One of them hisses. The spirits have not been satisfied. Nkem, still weakened from the near-death experience, begins seeing Ifunanya in his dreams, but in the dreams, her eyes are hollow and her voice is twisted with sorrow. He refuses to tell Adanna, fearing what it might mean, but as the days pass, he starts hearing whispers in the wind, Ifunanya calling his name. One morning, Adanna discovers strange symbols carved into the door of their heart. Dibia Okeke confirms that they are warnings from the spirit world. Nkem's soul is still stained, he tells her gravely. A deeper truth has yet to be uncovered. Adanna confronts Nkem, demanding the full truth of what happened with Ifunanya. Under pressure, Nkem admits that their betrayal was not just one night. It had happened many times before their wedding. The spirits had not cursed him for a single mistake, but for a pattern of deceit. Adanna is shaken. The foundation of the marriage was built on a lie. Dibia Okeke tells Adanna that the only way to truly lift the course is for her to make a decision. Does she still wish to stand by Nkem, knowing his true betrayal? Or will she leave him and break the cycle forever? The spirits will not rest until she chooses. The skies above Umuocha darken unnaturally, though there is no rain. A foul wind howls through the village, carrying with it an eerie wail. Dibia Okeke warns that the spirits are preparing to deliver their final judgment on Nkem. The entire village is on edge, knowing that something beyond their understanding is about to unfold. Ifunanya, who has been in a feverish delirium since her return, wakes suddenly and calls for Adanna. With wild eyes, she grabs Adanna's wrist and gasps, "The spirits, they are not done. He must confess everything, or they will take more than just his soul." The village elders gather one last time, seeking wisdom from ancient scrolls and oral traditions. One elder recalls a forgotten ritual, one that could grant Nkem a chance at redemption, but at a cost. A truth must be spoken before the entire village, and a penance must be paid in blood. At dusk, Nkem is led to the village square, where a sacred fire has been lit. The villagers surround him, their faces etched with fear and anticipation. Dibia Okeke summons the spirits, and suddenly the air is filled with whispers and shadows. A spectral figure emerges. It is Nkem's great-grandfather, the first to break the oath. His hollow eyes bore into Nkem. "Will you lie again?" the ghost asks, "or will you tell them all?" With nowhere to run, Nkem finally breaks down. He confesses everything, not just his affair with Ifunanya, but the many times he was unfaithful in the past, even before his marriage. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Adanna's heart shatters, but she remains standing. The spirits watch in silence, waiting for the price that must be paid for such betrayal. As Nkem's confession echoes through the village square, the spirits stir. The flames of the sacred fire twist and change color, shifting between blue and crimson. The spectral figure of his great-grandfather steps forward, his hollow gaze locked onto Nkem. "You have broken the oath. You have shamed your bloodline." The spirits demand a price, and the village knows that no one has ever defied their will and survived. Dibia Okeke, trembling, kneels before the fire, begging for mercy. "Great ones, he has confessed. Let that be enough." But the spirits are unmoved. Adanna, heartbroken yet strong, steps between Nkem and the spirits. "I will not let you take him," she declares. "You claim to seek justice, yet what justice is there in taking a life when repentance has been shown?" The spirits waver for a moment, their whispers growing uncertain. Never before had a wife stood before them to challenge their judgments. A deep voice rumbles from within the fire. "A life must still be taken," it commands. The villagers gasp, but the spirits are not done. "But the choice is yours, Adanna. His life, or the cycle of betrayal that haunts your bloodline." Adanna understands immediately. The spirits offer a way to end the curse. Forever. If she accepts, no man of her family will ever suffer under the weight of the oath again. But it will mean severing the bloodline's connection to its past, cutting ties with the ancestors who had once been their guides and protectors. Nkem, kneeling before her, whispers, "Adanna, please, I do not deserve to be saved." Tears stream down his face. He has accepted his fate, but Adanna has not. She looks to the fire, to the shadows of the ancestors who had held their family in chains for generations. "I choose to end the cycle." A powerful wind sweeps through the square, and the spirits release a final deafening wail before vanishing into the sky. The sacred fire flickers and dies, leaving behind only silence. As the first rays of morning light touch the village, the people of Umuocha know that the curse has been broken. The ancient oath no longer binds their bloodline. Nkem, weakened but alive, reaches for Adanna's hand. She takes it, but in her eyes is a quiet, unspoken understanding. Things will never be the same. The village elders declare that the oath will never be spoken again. Love and loyalty must now come from choice, not fear. As Adanna and Nkem walk away from the sacred grounds, the wind carries a final whisper, this time not of condemnation, but of release. The spirits have finally been laid to rest. The spirits weigh Adanna's offer. The elders chant, the wind howls, and the trees tremble as the ancestors decide the fate of Namdi and Adanna. A voice echoes through the village, decreeing that love has redeemed Namdi's soul, but a price must still be paid. The spirits mark him with a scar that will serve as a lifelong reminder of his betrayal. The spirits demand a final sacrifice. Ifunanya, racked with guilt, steps forward and vanishes into the mist. Her soul is claimed and peace is restored. As the sun rises, Namdi and Adanna emerge from the forest, forever changed. The village, having witnessed the power of the oath, vows to uphold it for generations to come. Under the baobab tree, Namdi and Adanna renew their vows, not just to each other but to honor truth and the spirits that watch over them. The wind whispers one last time, love is the strongest oath of all. Years pass, and the village remains peaceful, but the spirits still watch. Elders tell the story of Namdi and Adanna, warning young lovers never to betray their vows. The oath has become more than legend. It is a law written in the wind. Namdi, now a father, teaches his son about honor and love. He knows the weight of his past, but chooses to raise his children with the truth. He tells them that love is not just a promise, but a responsibility. Despite the peace, Adanna sometimes feels Ifunanya's presence. On quiet nights, she hears the rustling leaves and wonders if the woman who once tempted her husband still lingers between worlds. On the anniversary of their near-tragic fate, Namdi and Adanna gather the village to perform a ritual of gratitude. The spirits are honored, and a new vow is made, one that binds love and integrity above all else. As Namdi and Adanna stand beneath the baobab tree, the wind carries a familiar whisper. Love is the strongest oath of all. The spirits rest, and the village continues to thrive, forever carrying the lessons of the past. Even though peace has returned, Namdi still feels the weight of his past. Some nights, he wakes up in a cold sweat, haunted by whispers in the wind. Adanna notices his distress and fears that the spirits may not have truly left. Seeking answers, Adanna and Namdi visit Dibia Okeke once more. The priest tells them that while the spirits accepted their sacrifice, they never forget a broken vow. Their eyes are always watching, he warns. Rumors swirl about Ifunanya's fate. Some say she disappeared into the forest, never to return. Others claim she roams the village at night, a restless spirit seeking forgiveness. One evening, Adanna swears she sees a shadow moving near their home. Strange occurrences begin again, doors creaking open by themselves, the sound of footsteps in the dead of night. Their son, little Kimeka, begins speaking to an unseen presence. The woman in white says she is sorry, he whispers one night. The village elders perform a ritual to communicate with the spirits. A single message emerges. The past must be acknowledged or the future will suffer. Chemeka begins seeing visions, images of the past, of Namdi's betrayal and of the spirits that once threatened their family. Adanna fears that their son is now connected to the curse in ways they never imagined. Determined to end the fear once and for all, Namdi and Adanna follow Chiemeka's visions to the sacred forest. Deep within, they find an old shrine, forgotten by time, covered in overgrown vines. As they step closer, a figure appears, Ifunanya's spirit, bound to the place of her shame. I never meant to ruin your home, she says, her voice heavy with sorrow, but my soul cannot rest until the truth is spoken. Under the weight of the spirit's gaze, Namdi speaks the truth aloud, confessing his sins not just to Adanna, but to the ancestors who have watched over their family for generations. Dibia Okeke instructs them to leave an offering at the shrine, symbols of their love, honesty, and commitment. Only through truth can they fully break the last chains of the oath. The morning after their journey to the forest, the village feels different, lighter. As though an unseen weight has lifted. The air is warm, the crops look healthier, and for the first time in years, the whispers in the wind are silent. That night, Nnamdi dreams of Ifunanya one last time. She smiles at him, her eyes filled with peace. I am free, she says before vanishing into the moonlight. Adanna and Nnamdi teach Chiemeka about honor, love, and loyalty. We are not bound by the mistakes of the past, Adanna tells him. We are only bound by the choices we make. At the next village gathering, the elders alter the old oath. It is no longer just about faithfulness, it is about honesty. Truth is what binds a family, not fear, Chief Obinna declares. As the family sits together under the baobab tree, Adanna looks into Nnamdi's eyes and sees not the man who once betrayed her, but the man who fought for their love. The spirits are silent. The past is laid to rest.